Yo, yo, yo. Do people still say yo?
Only in New York.
Anyway, you are now tuned in to Decadent Conversations with your girl Shay Butter.
And brown sugar. Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. All right, so we
Okay.
ain't did a weekend update in a
Oh
minute.
yeah.
What you do over the
Mhm.
weekend? I know you got something to say.
Okay. I started back dating online because I kind of took a break from dating online. And I don't know why. Now I want to take another break. I'm just going quick story, even though you gonna say it ain't quick.
It's definitely
Right?
not.
Okay. So I talked to a guy. I talked to a guy online, and he says, "Hey, well, can we chat offline?" I said, "Sure." Now, mind you, at some point I figured I had already checked out his profile, but I must not have read it. And so I said, "Well, where do you work?" Right? And somewhere in the conversation, I asked him where he worked. And he said, "You need to go read my profile." Right? I said, "Well, I
Okay.
don't have your profile memorized, but since you telling me to go read it, let me go skim through it real quick." So I went back and skimmed through it. It said, "I'm a single father. I live off EBT and I don't have a job or a car, but I have a great
Are you dating a
heart."
comedian?
Girl,
You know the one with the
I
makeshift
was
CVS bandage? That
I
nigga?
wish I was playing. And so what I said to him is, I appreciate you telling me to go look at your profile because our values are not aligned. And he told me to get the fuck on. I said,
So what
"Gladly." You
what was he thinking? You were supposed to just be okay with that and you would be the one paying for the
I,
dates and going to
I
pick
don't
him up and then give him coochie at the end of the night, right?
I don't even understand why he's on there. Like, no. You need to be leveling up your entire life. Okay? That's what you need to do. So yeah, that was one. Number two was a guy that said he's before we meet face to face, I got a couple of questions. He rapid fire asked me like 10 questions. So after number 10, I said, "I'm going to answer this last question." I said, "But after this question, I have some questions and I would like for the flow of the conversation to be a little bit more of a flow." I said, "Because I'm feeling like I'm interviewed, right?" He
Mhm.
said, "It seems to me that we're not a match." Well, no, before that, he asked me, one of the questions was I affectionate? I said, "Once I get to know a person." And so he kept asking follow-up questions about that, in addition to the 10 questions. And I said, "I'm gonna answer this last one and then we're gonna move on, basically." And he said, "Well, we're not a match." And then I said, I would have to agree with you. Have a blessed night." And that was the end of that. I was just like, what is going on? Then the third guy, he says, that he wanted to take me out and all this stuff. I said, "Okay, fine." We picked a time and a day. And so I said, "Where? What'd you have in mind?" He said, "I want to cook for you. And did you see that my second job is I'm a massage therapist?" I said, I said, "Do women normally agree to go to your house the first date?" And so then he said, "Well, if you're not comfortable with that, we can go out. Do you want to go to Starbucks or IHOP on Western and Slauson?"
That's 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 out of control. That's
I said, I said, "You said Sunday evening." I said, "I'm not going to nothing on Sunday evening on Slauson and Western, except to my grandmommy house. Okay? Outside of I said, it's not even safe." He goes, "You must not be from the hood." I just was like, "I give up. I'm just gonna delete the whole app. Just throw the whole app away."
dang, is that what dating has come to? You must not be from the
Girl.
hood, so I gotta be cool with an IHOP date. First of all, fuck with, don't they do the Sunday fun day over there? Don't nobody have time to be getting caught up in that traffic and shit.
Girl, yeah.
But why would that be like I a guy asking me on a date and saying let's go to IHOP or Denny's? Like I don't even want to sound like I'll turn my nose up, but that's just not me. And if I don't go there myself, really, why would I allow you to take me there? It's not if you want it, it's nothing wrong with being cheap and frugal sometimes, but there's so many other cheap spots that
Well,
taste
I
so much
did.
better than that.
I recommended one. I said we can go to Madeire's on Western for brunch.
Yeah,
And that way, if he completely stupid, I had some really good chicken, and they also have mimosas. So
exactly.
that was
You know
what
my
we
spot,
settled on.
and I'm not gonna say what the spot is because you also like that spot. And last time we
I
went, you was like,
do.
"It's some fine men's in there." You already know what I'm talking about. And
I do.
that is the
I
spot. But y'all
do.
could have even went there. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you know they
No, I
super
didn't want to
cheap.
take him there because he talking about the fact that he was trying to take me to the IHOP on Western and Sepulveda for a first. I'm sorry, Western and Slauson for a first date lets me know where his head is at. Then when I told
Listen,
him, I said that parking lot over there be too cracking. I said I didn't witness crimes over there, so unless I'm going in the daytime for my grandmother to go get some food or something from Food for Less, I'm not about to be over there like in the parking lot just to sit down to eat. Like what? I don't even know nobody who does that.
that's
So,
all bad. That's all bad. I really only go over there for the swap meet, and I'm in and out. To be honest with you.
well, I go from my grandmama's house and all of the shenanigans that come along with that. But
Mm,
as far as hanging out, I'm not trying to just be hanging unless it's on
Um,
that street.
I didn't know we was gonna do this today, but since we here, fuck it. You was like, this ain't no dating podcast. We be talking about dating on this motherfucker a lot. It is
We
what
know,
it
we
is.
know. It is.
Um, I don't know
What's
what's
going
going
on with
on.
your
One
throat?
second. I don't know. Oh no. I had no dick
what,
in a while. Maybe it's clogged up. I don't know.
what is wrong with your throat?
Okay. Excuse me.
Drink some water.
So last week was my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy
Um
birthday.
and I'm sharing this because the day of my birthday, I was texting this guy and he was like, "What you doing for your birthday?" I was like, "I really don't have any plans." Because at the time I didn't. And you know I didn't. You was on my head about not having any plans. So he was like,
Hmm.
"Well, I want to take you to breakfast." I was like, "Cool, where are we going?" He like, "You ever go to the Servant Spoon?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we go to the Servant Spoon. Bam. No problem. Energy was cool. It's my first time meeting him. First of all, he was fine in a motherfucker, a fine ass chocolate thing. He he got out of jail a year ago and he got his own business and got his shit together. So I kind of like that shit. I like a nigga that got his shit together after, doing some time. That's just turns me on. So everything is cool. We even kick it a little later. Then the next day he was like, "Yeah, I want to see you again, blah blah blah. Maybe we could do something." He tells me this at like 11 a.m. I'm like, "Cool." He's like, "I'm gonna hit you." 8 p.m. come, I don't hear from him, and I'm already over it. I was over it around like 6, to be honest with you, because I don't have that much patience anyway. So don't hear from him. I'm like, fuck it. I get a text at 11 p.m. at night, and he like, "What's up?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "What you mean you don't know?" I'm like, "You kind of texted me a little late talking about some what's up, and we talked at 11 a.m." He's like, "Oh, I thought I was gonna be able to come through tonight and probably rub on your booty cheeks until you go to sleep." I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, what? Where is this coming from? Like,
I don't know.
it's something in the water." I
It
don't know
is.
what's going on with dating. I don't know how we got here. I can't figure it out. I make my head hurt trying to figure the shit out. It's like
Girl.
a men versus women thing. I don't know. Women have a problem. Men have a problem. I don't know why we can't get it right collectively,
Mm-mm.
but it's just It's out of control out here.
That the girl, the EBT thing just took me out. EBT took
Well,
me out. The man with the interview question. I mean, rapid fire. Another question. Another. I was like, hold up, player. We
yeah,
about to have a regular conversation, and I'm gonna ask you something.
that and I can't even say it's just online dating. It's dating period. But at the same time, like when we just meet, what makes you think that I'm about to be like, yeah, cool, come back to the crib?
Right.
No,
Right.
I'm single for real. Why would
Mhm.
I even let you come back to the crib? I don't know
Right.
you.
Mhm. They don't
So,
get that. They don't
and
get that.
then
Woo.
for them to just invite you over, like, do you want to be robbed? Why do you just want to give me your address? Do you want me to rob you, nigga? Seriously, because why?
It's the
At this-
emergency alert.
yeah, but we have plenty of time to talk about dating. We do it every week, so I'm pretty sure there'll be more stories to come. Uh, the first thing I kind of want to like get out the way because it is sad. I just want to say rest in peace to PMB. That is the rapper that got killed at Roscoe's in LA. And the reason I wanted to talk about this story is because his girlfriend is receiving a lot of backlash because she dropped his location. I think it was on, I don't know what social media site they dropped it on. I don't know
Mhm.
if it was IG, Snapchat or something like that, but she let people know where they were. So she's getting blamed and saying they're saying that she's the reason why he got killed. And I
Right.
have an issue with that because though that is careless for you to be a celebrity and for you to be dropping your location willy nilly, first of all, do y'all know what part of LA y'all was in? Y'all clearly
Right.
couldn't have known that y'all was on the east side. Clearly.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, when you are a celebrity and you move in a certain way without having security, um, and you just pulling up to locations, and I don't know if he was in a Maybach or what, or but you super iced out and stuff like that. You don't know if somebody inside recognizes you and is letting people know, hey, come up here, or if niggas is outside plotting. Because you already know how this shit is in LA. All it take is
Yeah.
for you to be you get caught slipping, just do one wrong move and it's over with. And that's what unfortunately happened to this young man. So somebody could have really been plotting. We don't know. Oh, we don't know if it's because of his girlfriend or if it's because of other reasons. So I just don't like
Right.
that people are like attacking her without really knowing if that's what happened. So as of right
Yeah.
now, she
A
still
lot
got to
of
go
time
through
in
the
them.
whole. Go ahead.
A
I'm
lot of
sorry.
time in those. No, I was just saying. A lot of time in those situations when the guys are there with their girlfriend. A lot of time the girlfriend, some kind of way, end up being the person they want somebody to like blame, but there's some question about which Roscoe's because on TV they keep saying in South LA, but then they were like, oh, the one that's on Manchester that's in Inglewood. And I was like,
Okay.
why wouldn't it?
I was hearing that too, and I was like, it couldn't have been Inglewood because even when I seen the video, I was like, they were not in Inglewood.
It didn't look like Inglewood did it.
Nope, it's the one on Manchester and Main. I think that's
That's what I was
Manchester and
thinking.
Main, but that's the east side.
Because right, and for the people that don't know, that intersection over there is like you're gonna see a crime when you're sitting there eating your chicken and waffles. You're gonna see a whole crime looking out that window. Like it's active. It's very active. It's not somewhere. It's a high poverty area. So unless you're from over there and people know you and you know the lay of the land, you should not be an outsider or somebody with money without security chilling over there because then that does look like a setup. That does look like
But
us. And then she dropped the pen to say where they were like that. I don't know. It looks not good.
first of all, that is the nastiest Roscoe's that I've ever tasted in my life. Just to keep it 100. So I don't know why you would want to go over there in the first place if you really a true chicken connoisseur. Let's just talk about that.
Right. You should have
Secondly,
been at Pico and La Brea.
secondly, um, it's I don't care if you are a celebrity, if you are average Joe. Stop thinking that just because maybe you cool in everybody else's hood or you get shown love in the hood, that you can go to a hood that you know nothing about, um, and shit is just gonna be cool. It don't work that way. And I don't give a fuck if you from LA, Chicago, whatever. You can't just be going in niggas' hoods and thinking shit is gonna be sweet. It's a
Yeah.
way that you gotta move, and you definitely can't be flashy with the shit. That's
Yeah.
no one is exempt from that. I don't care who you are.
That's true. You need to know somebody if you are gonna be hanging like that. You need to be on the inside where you know somebody from there, because you know it's sad, and then it's the conspiracy side of me, right? All these independent artists coming up dead, working with the same companies is kind of strange to me. So I don't know. It's a conspiracy side of me that wonders, you know, the connection there. Like if there's a connection there, because there's been so many over the last 3 years, out of just the young guys, you know what I mean, that just come up missing. Some crazy story is always some random other hood person, and people are saying, these execs that benefit financially from this person losing their life is paying off people like that, so it will look that way. So I don't know if it's true or not, but it's damn show coincidental that it's so many and they're all connected to the same two companies. So I don't know. I wonder.
Absolutely, I
I
thought about
wonder.
that too. I thought about that too.
Hmm.
How you feel about rap lyrics in influencing how people move? You believe that's
You
true, or you
know,
don't think it's true?
I do think it's true. And the reason I think it's true is that a lot of kids aren't parented. So the streets raise the kids. The TV raise the kids. The music raises the kids. So, for example,
Mhm.
if you have a kid and they're in a solid household, but they are listening to whatever, watching whatever in TV, they have something to balance it out with being reality, or some adults or some mature
Mhm.
people around to kind of put those things in perspective. But if you don't have that, then that becomes your role model. That becomes your way out. That becomes who raised you. You got parents who are letting their letting the iPad raise the kids. They're letting iTunes raise the kids. These are the iKids. That's who the babysitter
Hi,
is.
kids.
The iKids, exactly. That's who the babysitter is. So, you have to be careful of what you take in. I think about I got a homegirl. Every time I get around this particular homegirl, she is always doing so many great things, right? She's elevating in these different ways. So I feel inspired when I leave. Like, I gotta get on my stuff. You know what I mean? I got another friend that's always laughing and funny. And when I get around him, I know I feel better. Even if I was down that day, I feel better because of the things that I saw and that I heard. Well, the same thing could be true of music and TV and media and social media. So, what you take in through your senses has an influence on you. It could inspire you, it can lift you up, it could give you what you need, that extra juice you need to go bust them windows out the car. You got theme music for that.
And I agree with that, and I still disagree with that too. And the reason why I
Mhm.
say I disagree with it is because, all right, why y'all ain't listening to the positive music? It's positive music out there. What about the positive TV shows that we have? When we grew up on the Cosby Show, stuff like that. How come more folks didn't grow up to be doctors and lawyers and stuff like that? So I can't just
Okay,
say
I
that.
can I well, no, no, no. A Different World used to come on after the Cosby Show.
Mm-hmm.
They had the highest enrollment during the years of a different world than before and after that. Double, triple, quadruple some years versus what the enrollment at HBCUs were before a different world started and when a different world ended. Those kids were like, I want to go to a HBCU. The enrollment at HBCU went through the roof because of a different world. So it does influence. And the stats support that. Now, as far as doctors, I don't know, but definitely as far as HBCUs, different world had a major influence on people going to HBCU and graduating from HBCUs because of seeing those images that look like us.
But and that's all cool and that's all good, but when do common sense come into play? Young
For
Jeezy
a
used to be
kid,
my favorite rapper.
for
Or a teen, because the mind is still growing as a teen, but when do that common sense come in? Because I wasn't out here I wasn't robbing you. I wasn't stealing
but
from
you got a
you.
mama and a daddy. You
It's
got a
people
mama
that
and a daddy.
it's people that have a mom and daddy and they still fucked up. So you can't say
That
that.
that's true. And there are people who have solid parents that are messed up. But I feel like it increases the probability of you being successful if you got a solid like foundation. If you got a solid foundation, like if you in a cool environment, you got a better chance. Now, if you decide to just squander that chance, at some point it become on the person. At some point it becomes like on that person. But yeah, I don't know. I think that it definitely. I think if the music shifted and was more on some positive type stuff, then I think that it would have an influence.
Well, these rappers
When
would not
when
have a career. They wouldn't have a career. They cannot rap past I'ma kill you before you kill me
that's the
or
young rappers
jewelry and all
though.
of that. They can't.
Yeah, but I don't see, and then I wonder that because a lot of these companies, that's not who they hire. And I'll keep it a buck. Everybody loves Common now. Everybody says, "Oh, how fine he is," and how talented he is as a rapper.
Are they
When I
saying
was,
that?
yeah, a lot of people like Common and think that
I'm
he's
not talking
a
about
cat.
how
Yeah,
fine the fine he. I think they think he crazy. Cause why you keep
no,
dating these women?
but
And then
I
you
was
gonna
using
tell Tiffany
Common
Haddish
because
you
back in
weren't
the
ready for
days,
the serious relationship. But then you try to go get with somebody else. You narcissist fuck.
probably
He's
that's probably it. But back in the days, Common always made positive
he's a
music,
conscious
rap
rapper.
music, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, majority of it was whack. We was not about to bump that. We was not. We was bumping Snoop, DJ Quick, all of the all of the negative stuff you was talking about. That's what we listened to. But that's what we listened to, but it still was a balance of other stuff, like on the radio. Now think about it, just from a woman's perspective, right? I'm all about the women's do what you want stuff, whatever, whatever. But and when we look at the women that are most popular, like on the radio, it's just one way. It's one way. Like we don't have a balance. Like the India Aries are like so far and few between. And to me, it's fine to have the Meg the Stallions, the Cardi B's, but we need more variety so that the kids and everybody can have more of a balance. And there's
Well,
no balance right now.
here's the thing though. They do exist. People just ain't listening. If you was listening, you would have said Ari Lennox. They exist. People just
I
ain't
listen to Ari
listening.
Lennox.
Okay, so
I
then
listen
you
to Ari Lennox, but are those the people? Okay, you have to go looking for that, right? Versus, I don't have to look for Cardi B. I
I
don't
guess
have to
it's the
look for Meg The Stallion.
I see
I
what you're
have to
saying,
go
but
look for them.
I guess I didn't have to go look for them because since I already naturally listened to Erica Badu and Jill Scott, I was already in tune with
Right,
Ari.
right.
So
I learned about
yeah.
Ari from you because I didn't know nothing about her.
Oh shit. Well, there you go. Okay, nigga, you're
I
right.
didn't know. Because I wasn't looking. I just, you know what I mean? If I stumble across it, then now in today's time, it's a little bit easier because you can put on like Pandora and pick that one artist, and artists like that artist will pop up. But it's
Mhm.
it's still the artist they want you to hear. It wasn't until I got deep into looking at different artists that I started finding these like hidden gems. Like, why we don't know about this person? Why we
Yeah,
don't know
yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
person? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's because we don't have enough balance. So mm, all these things are raising the kids. They
Okay.
listen to that more than they listen to their parents at this point, or even freaking the teachers or any of that. You gotta use Cardi B or whoever the popular rapper or singer is just to get the kids to do a math problem. Seriously. I used to have to use popular culture in order to get the kids to do their work.
But see,
Cardi
but the
B was
thing,
walking down the street and she dropped 4 apples. I gotta go there for the kids to
but
even do the math.
are you one of the people that feel like these celebrities need to be more of role models? Because in my opinion, I don't feel like they do need to be. I feel like parents need to be active in their child's life, and they need to be the role model.
I do feel like the family should be the role model. However, realistically speaking, looking at the stats, a lot of people don't have families, and those kids are influencing our kids because they in class with them. So it's like it's everybody's problem. It's everybody's problem. If you have a trouble teen that's at the school, that it becomes everybody's problem because they have an influence over those kids have influence. So it behooves you to know what's going on with them because they have a lot of them have strong personalities, and they make their presence known or they're popular. And so they're going to influence the culture of, say, the school or the classroom. They're going to cut up in class. So your kid is not even getting the same level of education that they would get because this kid over here is dealing with some trauma, unresolved trauma. So I don't know. It all comes full circle, and we all influence and affect each other.
But these celebrities are not role models. They are human just like we are, and they make mistakes just like we do. And it's people in folks it's people in the family, in anybody's family that be making the same type of mistakes that the celebrities make. I think we all know somebody that done did time for something. You know what I
Of
mean? So
course,
it's just on a bigger
absolutely,
scale because
yeah.
the whole world is watching them. But at the same time, I still think that shit start in the home. How can you be mad that your son is gang banging, but you playing songs in the car with him on the way to school talking about kill this nigga, rob this nigga, beat that nigga?
But you had the balance, so that's not something you really was gonna do. Like,
No. And I'm saying how can you be mad at that if you are the one helping influence, you're creating that environment for him to thrive in. If we're talking about how media or music has an effect on people's mental, you are right in the car with your son listening to that music, then mad that he gang banging or mad that he
see,
wants
I
to be
don't,
ice.
I, see, I don't think that is a correlation because I can think of somebody I know, this high up, have a high level position, career wise or whatever, and well respected in the community. She does all this different stuff, and she's like a trap queen. She go when she leave that corporate space. She gets in that car. She be bumping the most raunchy
But does she do that
hood.
with her kid? Does
Her
she do it
kids,
with
she
her
got
kid?
sons. She got three
Okay.
sons. They all be in the car bumping too.
Okay,
But
so are you this is what I need to understand. So
uh
it's
huh.
okay for her to do it with her kids because she got her head on straight and she's in this top position. And it's
No,
okay.
it's the
But for
balance of it. It's a balance. So
man,
I'm gonna tell you, look, it's this the thing. The reason why I say that is this. that's all you have, then that's what you're gonna like take in. But if you have someone to put it in perspective, I'll give you a perfect example. I had a babysitter. They probably don't even know this story, some of the folks that might be connected with this. But I had a babysitter when I was like, you know, say 11, 12 years old or whatever. And she was in love with Too Short. She didn't play nothing but Too Short. And anybody know Freaky Tales and all of them albums? I had never heard nothing like that. It was like porn to my ears. It was like, oh my God. But I heard it so much, of course, I started singing it and I started listening. Then I started asking her questions like, what that mean? And she would explain it to me. And but the thing is, I wasn't gonna go out and do the stuff that he was saying because I had the balance of I'm going to church on Sunday. I had the balance of her to put it in perspective. Well, you do that with somebody when blah blah blah. She was there to explain them things to me, so I didn't take that and run with it just because I love Too Short and I like the beat and I could sing along with the songs. I had that balance of somebody to put it in perspective. It was enough other things in my life that was just one little guilty pleasure, if so to speak. So if you just listening to rap music, but the rest of your life you looking around is solid, your mama and your daddy is there, you seeing them paying bills, you seeing, they're taking you to organized sports, you going to church on Sunday, you sitting down together having a Sunday dinner together, you having part, like it's enough other things going on there that you can put that in perspective to that's just a song. But when this rapper is talking about a neighborhood that you actually in and you trying to figure out something, it's a real life situation that you could possibly be in, or maybe you financially strapped and you hearing this, he did this and that, and this how he came up, you might go try that. That's what I'm saying. I just feel like it's a balance thing. It's not that because she is who she is that her kids automatically gonna be cool. I just feel like their life is in such a way that there's enough balance that they got a cool chance still. But if you don't have nothing else, all you got is that you're gonna hang on to those words like that's your daddy talking to you. Especially if they say some of the stuff that's relatable to you. You're gonna take that and run as if that's the truth. So I mean, I think it's a balance thing, for me. I
Well,
think
this
so.
this is why I still think that kids have no business listening to that type of stuff in the first place, because you're not mature enough in the mind to even make those type of decisions on how you should be moving, which is
Hmm.
why you live at home with an adult. So I don't think it's appropriate. And maybe that's because of my upbringing. My mom and dad kept me sheltered from that shit. I had to sneak and do it. So I knew it was wrong.
Hmm.
So yeah, slap them explicit content stickers back on there. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit illegal. Make them have to type in their age to listen to use some of these websites. I don't even think that should be on Instagram and Facebook, to be honest with you. You want to talk about stuff influencing. Some of this shit is too much. That's why you got to monitor what your kids watch, even on YouTube. It's little hidden subliminal messages. That's why I even put this show. I say it's not for kids. Don't let this pop up on anybody's feed that's under 18, because I'm gonna be talking about sucking dick and all type of shit. And that's not appropriate for kids. But I'm also not
Right.
trying to be anybody's role model.
Right. Yeah. By default, if, after you make it to a certain level of exposure, you cannot absolve yourself and say nothing. I feel like just from a spiritual standpoint, if God put a microphone in front of your mouth, you obligated to say something to help. You obligated to do something if you got millions in your pocket from doing that. Like, even if you were doing, because that's the thing about it. Even if you doing whatever with this music, take like, you know, one of these rappers, say Doja Cat, she say sing about whatever she's singing about, and say if some of those things are inappropriate, but then on the flip side, she in the community, like really trying to help these girls win. Like, I wouldn't be mad at that balance.
But a lot of those rappers do that. Cardi B
Yeah,
be giving back, Lizzo be giving
yeah.
back, and you had something to say about her showing her ass at the Lakers game, which I
I didn't
don't.
like
What
that.
I don't. I, okay. she's not nobody's role model, but she's still giving back. So what about
Mhm.
that balance?
I mean, I appreciate. I didn't hear nothing about her giving back, but I believe it. You know, but I still don't think that's cool. Like that is supposed to be a space. That's a shared space. That's a
You
shared
just
space.
you gonna go against the grade period. I respect your opinion. I'm still sticking with mine. These celebrities is not role models. Period.
They shouldn't be. The role model should be, you know, like you said, your parents or like some people that's doing great things or accomplishing something great, inventing something great. Yeah, I mean, it's a million people we could look up to other than just entertainers. But unfortunately or fortunately, you know, the kids look up to these people. So they can't just say, "Oh well," like they got that blood on their
Okay.
hands if they don't do something positive with that power in those numbers.
So when we make it big, it's cool for me to keep talking about sucking dick and niggas leaving shit stains wherever they leaving shit stains at, as long as I give back to the community.
Yes, yeah, you have my approval.
This some bullshit. All right, we moving on. All right. The next thing is I don't even know the baby's name, but it's one of the I think it's Haley. It's not Chloe. I think it's Haley.
Oh, Hallie.
Hallie, sorry. I didn't know it was Holly. But anyway, she got cast as Ariel for the Disney remake,
Oh yeah.
and it is, yeah, first of all, Black Girl Magic, because that is dope. But it's receiving so much backlash from the clears. They
Yeah.
are up in
Oh,
arms
hell
about
no.
the fact that a black girl is playing Ariel. And I have
Mhm.
some things to say about that because, first of all, mermaids are not even real. They're not real. They're not fucking real. So y'all mad that somebody is playing y'all make believe fictional character? I don't get that. All of the movies, true stories that white Hollywood has redone or brought to life, and they did not have black actors or Asian actors
Oh
or
yeah.
Latino actors
Yeah.
when there should have been people of
Right.
color, but you had a white person and you did blackface or brownface or whatever, yellow face.
Yeah. Like
Because
Elizabeth Taylor did Cleopatra.
yeah,
You
so
know
and
damn
then on
well that.
and then on top of that, it's like, yes, let us have something. I don't know. I watched a reaction video where so many little black girls were just like, "Oh my god, she's brown. Oh my god, she's black. Oh my god, she looks like me." And that just made my heart like eh, my heart was so heavy with joy that they actually got to see that, because all the Disney movies that I grew up on, it was all white. All white.
Mhm.
Unless of I don't know if it was black people that was in the movies, but if it was, there was probably like additional cast, or like the person driving the horse, riding the horse, getting the horse together in the stable, something like that. They had the
Oh
lowest of the
boy.
lowest
Or the
positions.
maid
Yeah.
or thug.
So it's important for us to be represented in these positive roles. So I think it's very, but I'm not racist, because white folks love to say that. I think it's very, but I'm not racist of them to
You know what?
be.
I think that it goes back to that fear that I was talking about. You know, because for years I remember watching TV and the shows. Unless you were on a particular network, the shows where all of the characters were white. Even on the Christian channel, it was all white. Everybody was white, and it's shifting, and people get scared because the world is browning, but deal with it.
Yeah, and like I think I posted a clip in our chat earlier. Like the clip says, Let me get to it. Um,
Oh, I
so
think I
after
know
I
which one
got
you
it.
talking about.
So after all the Africans y'all threw in the ocean, y'all surprised a mermaid is black. And that's some real shit. So, for those that read, if you are interested in reading some fictional Black Mermaid books, what's going on with my hands? There we go. Black Mermaid books. There are some available on Amazon. I thought it was really cool. It's one called The Deep, and it's a fantasy book, and it depicts an underwater society built by water-breathing descendants of pregnant slaves thrown overboard from slave ships.
Oh,
I
that's
think that's
interesting.
interesting. See, when I first told you I wanted to drop these books, you was looking at me like, bitch, you want to drop books
No,
about
I
black
didn't.
mermaids? Yes, you did. Yes, you
Oh,
did.
you mean these books about the mermaids?
Yes.
I didn't know
Yes.
what you was talking about. I thought you meant your other books.
No. What other books? What?
I When you were talking about writing the little ghetto
Oh, no,
series,
no, 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 no. No,
I was
not
like, you
me.
need to
Not
do
me.
that.
No,
Mm-hmm.
not me.
Okay, because
There's
I was like, mermaids, what you talking about? But that sounds interesting.
well, because we was talking about Ariel Fool. I'm not about to do
I
this with you, brown
know.
sugar.
I just
All
was
right.
like,
One
under
is
the
called
sea.
also Skin of the Sea, and the other one is A Song Below Water. So I'm actually interested myself, especially about the first one I said, The Deep. I'm gonna have to go
Mm-hmm.
check that out myself. Like I said, representation is important. It's very important. And white folks, y'all can't tell our stories. You just can't. But
Not like we do.
we can always tell yours. You're very replaceable, and I don't care who hears that. It is what it is. All right.
Oh,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go ahead. Let's get into this.
Okay, so, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like, I mean, it's a cliche thing to say, but do you feel like it's a thin line between love and hate?
It's a very thin line. What's a word uh that's thinner than thin?
I
'Cause
don't
that's how
know.
thin it is for me.
But
You
like
know that
what?
girl you grew up with in school that could never put her hair in a ponytail because it was just too.
Oh,
She just it couldn't
mm-mm,
reach. That's how thin it
mm-mm.
is for me, bitch.
Why not just imagine the ponytail? I just imagined the ponytail and that big old black scrunchie and the hair just,
Yeah,
that's just
Scrunchy
all
just
bad.
sitting there. Yeah.
On air. um, you know what? I had my first encounter with that pretty young. I was probably 10th grade. I had a little boyfriend and he checked into my school. He was an athlete. And at the time, my high school didn't really have a whole lot of black guys. And, so he
Mhm.
was cute, tall, black guy. And he decided to check into my school to play basketball. And we had been together since the 8th grade. And long story short, I'm sitting in class and it's a girl in front of me. And she's like, "Did y'all see the new guy that checked in? He fine." I was like, I'm still not thinking nothing. And she was like, "I tell you one thing, um, I want to suck his thing, right?" So I'm like,
Who was
still
her role
listening, like,
model? Who was her role model? What was she listening to?
Oh
I don't know
my.
what she's still ratchet. So I'm like, she talking, but I'm like, it's irrelevant to me. This just some rat. That's what I'm thinking, right? And so then they were like, "What's his name?" So she said his name, and I was like, "Who?" I asked, "What's the last name?" And the other girl said the last name, and then I was like, "That's my boyfriend, right?"
Mm-mm.
So I'm like, "Oh my god!" So the bell rings, so we leave or whatever. Long story short, he creates this argument so that we break up because she just said all the stuff she gonna do to him, and no, I wasn't doing nothing. So I'm like, man. So anyway, we break up. I'm all heartbroken. We had to have a family meeting behind it. We had to have a family meeting behind it and everything. So long story short, he goes, my homegirl has a party around the corner from my house. He
Mhm.
says, hey, come over to, your homegirl house. And I was like, no, I don't feel like seeing you with your little hoochies, is what we used to call them. Little hoochies all around you and all that, because I'm on my cycle. I already got an attitude. I'm mad about the whole thing, and we not together. So why would I come over there to have to see that? And I'm already in a bad mood. I'm telling you, I'm in a bad mood. Right.
Mhm.
And he was like, well, come over. We're going to get back together and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, don't have me get dressed and walk over there and I walk into some nonsense, because if I do, it's going to be a problem.
Right.
He ain't never seen me really, really, really act a fool. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh
I
shit.
get dressed, I walk around the corner to my homegirl house, and as soon as I took one step into the door, he's sitting down, high as a kite, which he didn't even smoke at the time, so he didn't got high and he don't even do that. And she's sitting on top of him, all over him,
Oh
all
hell no.
over him. So I lost it. I completely lost it. So my friend, her her mama name was Willa Mae. Willa Mae, I love to death, but Willa Mae had this big old vase. I picked the vase up. I was about to crack him with the vase. She came through like slow motion. No! Grabbed the vase. It was like a movie scene. Grabbed the vase, like, not in my mama house. And so then I was like, well, you better tell him to come outside. So the girl, she was looking, mumbling something, but she already knew how crazy I was acting. She wasn't sure exactly how she wanted to
But wait,
proceed.
the girl is your homegirl, right? Or she wasn't your
No, the
homegirl?
girl wasn't my homegirl. It was my homegirl house. The girl that was saying what she was saying in class with me, that's who was on his lap, kissing and all that stuff.
Shit.
He didn't smoke, so he was so high he didn't even recognize I was there. But it only took me 20 minutes to get. It only took me. It only took me like 20 minutes to get there.
You walked
You
there?
know what I'm saying? So that was just stupid. So I was so mad. So we came
Did you walk
outside.
there?
Yeah.
So not
So
only did you okay, so you know where I'm about to go with this shit,
right,
because I would have been 38 hot, nigga. I don't walk over
right,
here to see
right.
some shit. And I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck if you was high or you was drunk. You know what the fuck you doing. Don't
Oh
play these
my
games with
God.
me. And I
I'm
just said,
like,
don't have me walk into no
don't.
bullshit.
I told him. I told him. So then I go outside. He like, I ain't going out there. I told my homegirl, her name was Barbara. Barbara, send him outside or it's gonna be a problem. She was like, you gotta go outside because she picked up a whole vase like you did. She said go outside, you need to go outside. Right? So she essentially kicked him out, right? So he walk outside, he walking all slow. I reached back so far as I could with all the might in my body. Mind you, when I walked outside, nobody was outside except for me and him. And I must have slapped that man so hard. He was chocolate. He turned red. I slapped the taste out his mouth. And
Mm-mm-mm.
he was like, he didn't know what to do. He just started backing up. He just started backing up. And then when I looked up, everybody from the school was outside watch the whole thing. So they start calling me Tyson. So like, I was like, oh my God. But it was like, and then after that, that was when we to this day are friends, but we has, completely stopped dealing with each other completely for a while, you know what I'm saying, after that. And he dropped out. They had two kids, all kind of stuff happened after that. But we to this day we good friends about, I be laughing about it. He be kind of laughing about it. But yeah, that was the thin line. You know what I'm saying? That right there, that was I got my get back though. But yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like people be doing dumb stuff. I can't even say that this is a men problem. And you know I love to come for the men. But it's a men and a woman problem, or men and
Yeah,
women problem.
yeah,
Because I'm just thinking about some of my past experiences, and I got a homegirl that, or I can't even call her a homegirl. I got an associate that I used to be close to, and she was actively and probably still is actively cheating on her husband to the
Mm.
point where I can't. His This man got paid
Oh
so good,
my.
and the field he's in, it's not like a doctor or anything like that, but he got paid so well, that she even admitted and said, if he was ever to find out that I was cheating, or and he decided to leave me, um, I wouldn't be able to support myself financially. So my in the back of my head, I'm like, if you know you can't support yourself financially, why is you cheating on your husband anyway? And he takes care of
Right.
everything, and the money that you do have from working is pretty much your trip off money. You just spend it on yourself. Bitch, are you stupid? Like that don't even make any
Mm.
sense. So you are risking it all, lying to your husband, taking trips out of town, saying that you with your girls and you really not with your girls. You
Mm.
out here with some man, and you're willing to put your relationship or your well-being on the line like that, because you've never been on your own, you don't know how to do it on your own, so you would be in your 40s trying to figure shit out. So to me, it's like, you that man would easily go from loving you to hating you,
Yeah, if
just
he ever
in a
find
blink of
out.
exactly. And then bring it back to the men. An ex-boyfriend that I had at the time, we were still fucking around. We were both over everything, but we still had the sexual attachment. And I remember one night I was at his house, and his phone would not stop fucking ringing, to the point where it finally got me up out of bed, and he on the phone whispering and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, this what we doing? And I'm starting to talk loud. I'm like, I know we over and done with. The feelings is already there, but what type of shit is you about to have me caught up in? Nigga, do you got a girlfriend? Cause why are you whispering on the phone? If you supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be single, and whoever whatever woman you dealing with knows that you single and know that you have them, why are you whispering on the phone? Because you don't want me to hear the conversation. As soon as I start talking, you hang up the phone because you don't want her to hear me. So it's just people be playing stupid games, and it's real easy to go from being in love with somebody or loving somebody to hating their ass because they do stupid shit.
Well, for me, it takes a lot to get to that point. But when I
Cause
get
you a
to that point,
Gemini, you crazy.
a little bit.
Hmm.
So it takes a lot for me to get to that point. But when I get to that point, it's like you can't even breathe the same air as me. Period. You nothing. It's nothing. Like nothing. But for the most part, if the relationship just didn't work out, we went our separate ways. We have history. It don't have to be on no hate stuff. We could just I'm cool with going our separate ways and we cool. It don't have to be like that if it's done in a certain way. But there are some people that push you to such a brink to drag you through so much stuff unnecessarily that once you really realize what's going on and you have found a way to detach yourself from that craziness, then it's like, no, wouldn't I don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. And if you
Hmm.
invade my space like that and try to force yourself into my life, then I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. I had to call the police before. I had to call the police before. I never told this story, but my ex, we had been broken up for years. And out of the blue, he came over like late and he said, I left some stuff over here. And I said, I believe all the stuff you left over here is probably in the trash can.
Is this Dodo?
Or uh-huh.
Okay.
And And so he said, no, remember in that closet. And it was this closet that I never go in. And true enough, it was some bags of stuff in there. And he was like, well, I need to get my stuff or whatever. So it's like late. And I was like, what you decide this late? He's like, I got a job interview with stuff in there, blah, blah, blah. And so he's going through this stuff. And I was like, well, I'm about to go to sleep. Right. And so I said, so you need to take your bags and go and do what you're gonna do. Long story short, it's late. So I said, well, he said, well, I just need to go through that and I need to do this and that. And then I said, well, I'm getting up at 5 in the morning. By this time, it's already like 1 or 2. And so then I was like, you just need to be gone. You need to leave before I leave, right? So I get up early, true enough, and I was like, you need to wrap up what you need to wrap up because you got to go, right? And so he tells me I ain't going nowhere. I'm not done
Oh
doing what I'm doing.
hell no!
I said I gotta go
Oh
to work.
goodness.
I said I gotta go to work, and I'm gonna go to work. So whatever it is you tripping off of, I would throw this stuff on the porch. I was trying to be nice, but I see you want to be stupid, and I gotta go to work, and I don't want to be late to work because I don't be late to work. I be early. And he just kept on talking crazy. I'm gonna sit here and do what I need to. Shoot, you do what you need to. Like, I don't know what his plan was or what he was thinking. I said, okay, no problem. And he thought I wasn't tripping, so I sat on the porch and I politely called PD on him. And they showed up, and he looked like he
Damn!
saw a ghost. He said, you called the police on me? I said, I asked you to leave my home, and you didn't leave my
And you
home.
didn't leave. Mhm.
And I said,
Mhm.
so at this point, I said, I need to lock up, I need to secure my property. I was trying to be nice, but I see the page you on. So then he was trying to lie and say that he lives there because he had mail that used to come there. You know, people could play that game. So he was trying to
Mhm.
say, I said, no, he don't. I said, he has an Atlanta address. You could look him up. He probably got records or whatever. His ID is in Atlanta. He does not live here. Come to find out later that he had tried to get a driver's license to come to my house. So that didn't make it to where its destination. It
He
was returned
he
to
was
sender.
obsessed with you cuz he it took him a
Yeah,
while to let you go.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, after that, I was like, I can't even be nice. I can't even be nice. So
And you
anything
know
after that, go ahead.
the thing about it, brown sugar, I don't even really like calling the police on black men or like
You, he
doing
know
it's
I
it's
don't.
it's hard. It's hard
Mhm,
because you know the dude I was
mhm.
dating years ago and you and our mutual friend was like, you gotta get a restraining order. You gotta get a restraining order. I really didn't want to do that. And I remember y'all talking me through it, like, just go to the court, you gotta do it. And I ended up not pressing charges because I told him I was just like, look, I don't want to turn this
Just,
in, but if you just leave, we can act like this shit never happened. Just leave and just delete me from your life, my nigga, please.
mhm, mhm.
And he somewhat did that for the most part. And I know that I'm such a stand-up woman because even when I forgot who calls. Is it the attorney general that calls you? I forgot who calls you, but somebody called me December of last year telling
Mhm,
me, "Hey, we have such and such in custody." Mind you, at this point, me and him have been broken up for like 5 years. They're like, "Hey, we
mhm.
have such and such in custody. We see that you have a restraining order on him. Do you want to go ahead and go through with that and process that?" I'm like, "No. No, just let him go. If y'all got him for something else, that's between y'all, but don't try to stick this on him and
Yeah,
cause extra grief. Like I do believe in in protecting black men. It's just sad that sometimes I feel like they really don't want to protect us. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, he used that. He used our whole relationship. He used my compassion, my kindness, my willingness to give another chance against me. And I know with a person like him, I had to become like more ruthless with him. I had to do something drastic. I would have had to call somebody over there to beat him up, or I had to call the police. And that's when he finally, because he was doing weird stuff like popping up places that he know that I am. He was reaching out to my friends and family. Like he was doing some more weirdo stuff. So I had to do something drastic. And I was just trying to be cool, like let the man get his stuff, but he was doing too much. So he knows like I'm not a person that's gonna be calling the police on, especially a black man, unless it's something major. But you gonna tell me you're not gonna leave my house?
Yeah, nah.
It was
You're
either me hurt you,
endangering my
have
life.
somebody to hurt you,
But
or call the police.
but you're endangering my life at that time, because how are you gonna tell me that you're gonna stay somewhere where you're not wanted?
Mhm.
You by right, it's my space, you need to leave. So it
Mhm.
just gets tricky, because when you are dealing with matters of the heart, and again, this goes for men or women, you never really truly know a person's mental state right away. And a lot of people have
Mhm.
so many traumas or so many things that they've been through, or maybe common sense ain't so common, and they really do have like stalker vibes or attachment vibes and stuff like that, that just depending on how you move, because you done said the wrong thing, or you done told this person, I no longer want to be with you, and then they're ready to take their life and take your life at the same
Yeah.
time. So it's really scary, because the dude that y'all was like get a restraining order on, I remember him, and I will never forget this. He slit his wrist in my living room. And that's something that
Goodness
I still
gracious.
think about. That fucked me up, because that's something that I only have witnessed on like TV. You know what I mean? This
Mhm.
is not, everybody don't just get to see somebody slit their wrist. So to witness that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I didn't know you was crazy like that. And I'm kind of mad at your mama, because why your mama didn't tell me that you was moving like that? She know your crazy ass is over here,
But
living with
you
me and
know
shit
what
like
it
that.
is though. If you ain't had to get no restraining orders, that I can't even say it.
Nah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it.
Your pussy trash. No, I'm just playing.
Hey. Well, since I had to go get one, we all know what that means. Nah, for real. But yeah, it's just, but it just let me know, okay, Shay, everybody was not raised like you. Everybody did not go through the same things that you went through, or bounce back like you may have. So it's just, it's scary, because like I said, you
Mhm.
never really know somebody's mental state, and we see it on the news all the time. Women and men being physically
Mhm.
abused or getting their head blown off because they said something that their significant other didn't like, or they ended that relationship, or they looked at somebody else, so it's
Oh, last story. Remember the lady? Remember the lady and the guy, her baby dad or whatever, cheated or whatever. She found out and she ran him over and she kept running him over. And then the bumper fell off and then she
yes,
threw the bumper on him. I just was like,
yes,
damn. She was saying all kind of stuff when she was doing it, like all these years, wasting all my years. I don't even care. Like, I just was
okay,
thinking about like,
what
wow,
was you
was she
thinking about?
crazy? I was thinking twofold. What all? Because people be playing, and
But see that,
people be
and that's why
playing.
and that's why, like, I don't know, this might be a fucked up thought that I'm about to share, but I really am a strong believer of, and before you just call somebody crazy, what what did you do to make them snap the way they snapped? And you just hit it on the head when you just said all these years. I'm not saying that I could have moved like that, but I'm not in that situation. So I don't know. Emotions start flaring up and all types of stuff. But have you been lying to me all these years? Have you been cheating on me all these years, and finally I just can't take it anymore? Like, I don't know. You don't know somebody's mental
I
state.
I would have to agree with you because sometimes I'm pretty sure you didn't encounter talking to a guy or being with a guy and he's like my baby mama crazy, saying all this stuff. Whole time he been playing with the girl. The whole time he's still sleeping with her. He's still lying to her. He making her think they gonna be together. All kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I always say she ain't acting crazy for no reason. What's really going on? And
Yeah.
usually, sometimes they just be crazy. But majority of the time, it be stuff going on, and the dude don't be on the up and up, and that's why
But
she
y'all like
responding
crazy
that way.
women. Y'all like crazy women, and we gonna talk about that soon. Just not today, but y'all do be liking crazy women. Y'all do.
Yeah, yeah, it's the excitement, I think.
But yeah, That's nah. I don't know about that. People got to be careful with what they doing. You can't play with everybody. You can't.
That's the whole point. These guys, well, it be women doing it too. Like you said, your friend, and I have known some women to be playing with guys too. You know what I'm saying? Then when the guy reacts, it's like, oh, he crazy. Nah, you was playing with him for a minute. You had this one over here and this one over here. He working double shifts and all this. The whole time you got a whole nother dude over here, and this one the one paying for everything. Like, yeah, I mean, it be stuff going on both genders, so it ain't a one way, but you can't keep playing with a person and then be surprised when you get ran over 10 times and the bumper get dropped on your dead body. I'm just saying.
For real. Okay. So, what's your last thought of the day? What you want to leave our listeners with?
Uh my thought of the day is don't be playing with people. Don't play with people in the workplace. Don't push people buttons. In the grocery store. Don't just be doing stuff because you don't know what happened to that person that morning, and you don't know when it's gonna be that last moment before they explode. So treat people right. If you can't treat them right, at least be honest about it. That's my 2 cents.
Okay. And mine would be, you don't get to dick me down real good and then start whispering on the phone with somebody else and expect me not to turn up, all right? Shit. No, for real. Treat people how you want
You
to be
for real,
treated.
but yeah,
I am for real though, but treat people how you want to be treated. And that's it.
yeah. Till next time, everybody. Bye bye.
Peace.